Hello everyone, welcome to Pehli Akshar Virtual Classroom. I hope you all are safe in your homes and enjoying our virtual sessions. Wasn't that a catchy beat playing? Guess what? What is the theme for today's session? Yes, today we are going to talk about life in the wild. We will take you on an adventurous trip into the woods and let you explore the beauty of nature. Aren't these creatures just beautiful that tread on earth just like us? Where can we see these animals? Yes, we can see these animals in a zoo, a sanctuary, a forest. We can also see them on television shows like National Geographic Channel, Animal Planet and Discovery Channel, and websites like Wildlife Trust of India, Wildlife SOS, Wildlife Protection Society of India, Nature Conservation of India, Bombay Natural History Society and many more. We can also always find them in storybooks and comics. There's a lovely movie, Lion King as well. Which is your favorite animal? Try to guess which animals are these. Red panda. Look for it in the Himalayan forest of Sikkim, Meghalaya and Arunachal Pradesh. Tibetan antelope or chiru. Inhabiting the alpine tablelands of Ladakh and the Tibetan plateau. Mishmi takin or goat antelope lives in the eastern Himalayas, Mishmi Hills and the verdant Dalbang Wildlife Sanctuary. Hangul. Try and sight the last few remaining royal stags of Kashmir at the grazing ground in Dachigam National Park. Snow leopards. The rocky outcrops and steep ravines of Hemis National Park in Ladakh are home to these mystic animals. Sangai. The nimble sangai is also called the dancing deer of Manipur. It's one of the rarest animal species in the whole world. Sangai live only on the unique floating fungus of the marshy Loktak Lake. Dugong. These languid creatures, also called the angel of the sea, they swim around in the Andamans and Gulf of Mannar or the Gulf of Kutch. Indian wild ass. The little ran of Kutch is the only place on the earth where the agile Indian wild ass, known as locally as the Gudkar, still lives. Lion-tail macaw. The rainforest dweller, it lives in the lushy canopied western Ghats in southwestern India. The tiny village of Niliyampathi in Kerala is a great place to see these arboreal beings. They can also be found in the Indira Gandhi National Park, Tamil Nadu. Nilgiri Tahara, a stocky, sturdy goat antelope, found high in the mountains of southern India, rocky cliffs and rolling greens of Mannar as you drive through the Eravakulam National Park. So, wasn't that exciting? Now, let's find out more about the life of snow leopard. Do you know where is the snow leopard's home? They are found in the higher reaches of the Himalayas encompassing the northern areas of Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Sikkim and Arunachal Pradesh. Do you know what's the snow leopard's strength? Snow leopards have powerful legs and are tremendous jumpers, able to leap as far as 50 feet. These big cats use their long tails for balance and as blankets to cover sensitive body parts against the severe mountain chill. Snow leopards are shy and reclusive and are rarely seen in the wild. What's a day like in the snow leopard's life? Snow leopards are most active at dawn and dusk. They also are very mobile, moving from one place to place on a daily basis, moving their resting site many times during the day. Generally, they stay for several weeks in one particular part of their home range before moving on to the another one. Do you know what they eat? Snow leopards are strict carnivores and eat whatever they find, including ibex, markhor deer, bharal, boar, marmots, small rodents and pikas. Have you ever thought about how animals survive in the wild? How are animals and human beings related? Have you heard about the food chain? A food chain is a system where a small animal is a food for larger animal, which in turn is a food for even larger animal. The food chain helps to transfer energy from one living organisms to another. This way, energy keeps flowing in the ecosystem. For example, grass produces its own food from sunlight. A rabbit eats the grass. A fox eats the rabbit. When the fox dies, bacteria break down its body, returning it to the soil where it provides nutrients for plants like grass. Pyramid of food chains looks like this. There are different levels like producers, consumers and decomposers. Producers, also known as autotrophs, which make their own food. Autotrophs are usually plants or one-celled organisms like algae, seaweed, phytoplankton, tiny organisms that live in the ocean. Who eats these plants and organisms? The second trophic level consists of organisms that eat the products. These are called primary consumers or herbivores. Deer, turtles and many types of birds are herbivores. Secondary consumers eat herbivores. Who eats these animals? Consumers can be carnivores, animals that eat other animals, or omnivores, animals that eat both plants and animals. We human beings are the best examples of omnivores. We eat plants such as fruits, vegetables. We also eat animals and animal products such as meat, milk and eggs. We eat fungi such as mushroom. Decomposers are the final parts of food chains. They are organisms that eat non-living plant and animal remains. Decomposers like fungi and bacteria turn organic waste such as decaying plants into inorganic materials such as nutrient-rich soil. Decomposers complete the cycle of life, returning nutrients to the soil or oceans for use by autotrophs. This starts a whole new food chain. Deforestation. This is the biggest threat to wild animals. Have you watched the news of some animals attacking humans or making their way into the areas where humans live? Why do you think they leave their home? Forest? It's because there is no forest left. We humans are unnecessarily cutting down the trees. Forest is home to several animals. It provides humans and other living beings with oxygen. It also helps in maintaining balance in oxygen and carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. It helps to maintain the temperature. It helps in preventing the loss of nutrients in soil It regulates the water cycle. In short, deforestation is dangerous to animals as well as human beings. Can we stop deforestation? Yes, of course. We all can stop unnecessary cutting of trees in our surrounding. But the easiest solution to this problem is to plant trees. More and more trees, hundreds of trees. You just need to plant a tree in your surrounding and take care of it for at least 2 years. After that, tree will take care of itself on its own. Students, if you recall, we have made a separate video on deforestation and its probable solutions. Follow this link and watch the video once again.